Sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Spectators are reminded that they are prohibited from entering the playing area or interfering with play, provocative racial, sexist, or sexual comments, or intimidating actions, including baiting and taunting, directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, spectators, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Artificial noise making, air horns, and electronic amplifiers are not permitted, and such instruments shall be confiscated. Please be alert for batted or thrown balls that may cause injury to participants or spectators or damage personal property. The NJCAA and Region 14 thank you for your cooperation. And while we've got a minute, I want to remind you one more time that this was earlier this morning. They had 5 extra large t-shirts left. Softball tournament t-shirts. They're extra large. They had 5. They're $10 a piece. So if you didn't get yours, you can go get it now while they last at $10 a piece. Championship game of the Region 14 softball tournament. The San Jacinto Coyotes taking on the Lady Apaches from Tyler Junior College. Let's meet and greet TJC. Number 1, Tommy Goodman. Number 9, Nadia Jimenez. Number 11, Tucker Caraway. 18, Amber Layer. 24, Kelly Mardona. And the starting lineup, leading off and playing left field, number 3, Brianna Paysinger. Number 15, Rebecca Snow behind the plate. In center field, Haley Weber, 21. At first base, Mackenzie Goswick, 19. The DP will be number 12, Shelby Court. Casey Moore is at third base, number 17. Mackenzie Peak, number 8 at second base. At shortstop, number 2, Mackenzie Chatham. And down at right field, number 13, Shelby Hotchkiss. And in the circle, number 22, Julia Knight. And the coaching staff for the Tyler Apaches. Maria Wynn Ratliff is the head coach, and Shelby McGraw is the assistant coach. And now let's meet and greet all of the San Jac Lady Coyotes. Number 5, Madison Neal. Number 12, Tori Ramirez. Number 13, Natalie Hoyt. 14, Kaylee Ausman. 18, Caitlin Rivera. 21, Nakila Robinson. 24, Bailey Malone. 27, Isis Rangel. And 29 is Tori Stoddard. Starting off, leading off and playing first base, number 7, Alexis De Leon. At second base, number 15, Missy Hernandez. Third base will be covered by number 10, Danny Damian. At shortstop, Mackenzie Controller, number 4. Number 6 in left field is Riley Bullock. The DP is number 20, T.O. Taylor Office. In right field, number 3, Taylor McHenry. The center fielder will be number 22, Shelby Doherty. The catcher behind the plate, Caitlin Curl, number 1. And back out to the circle, number 11, Nikki Gonzalez. The coaching staff for the Lady Coyotes, Kelly Sines is the head coach. Her assistants are Kelsey Walters and Selena Reyna.
Welcome back to Lufkin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, where TJC has survived the elimination bracket to get to the Region 14 championship game. That 6-1 victory about an hour ago clinched the back-to-back trips to St. George, Utah for Tyler. And now for the second year in a row, Tyler and San Jac will meet for the Region 14 tournament title. TJC has to win 2 if game scheduled for 3:30 3:30 today. A little bit of change in the lineup for TJC. The batting order will stay the same. Paysinger, Snow, Weber, Goswick, Court, Moore, Pete, Chatham, and Hotchkiss. But in the circle, or check that, Snow will now be behind the plate catching, and Court will now be your designated player. So Court will get a little bit of rest out of getting out of the gear, as both teams here have qualified for the national tournament. And in the circle for Tyler will be Julia Knight. We'll go over her stats in a minute, but in the circle for San Jacinto, number 11, Nikki Gonzalez, their ace, a 1.45 ERA, 28-4 record on the year, 213 innings pitched. As ball 1 comes high, Paysinger at the plate. 62 runs allowed, 44 of those earned, 41 walks, 222 strikeouts. As ball 2 on the outside. Paysinger, a 4.57 ERA, and that's going to go up a touch as she went 4 for 4 in the first game of the day. Strike 1 comes across there. 2-1 count now for Paysinger at the plate. Top half of the first in this Region 14 tournament championship game. Strike 2. Across the infield for San Jacinto. Over at third is Damian. That one's out of play or grounded foul.
On deck is Snow and Weber.
Cotrula is at short, Hernandez at second, De Leon at first. Bullen is in left field, center field is Doherty, and over in right field is McHenry as Paysinger looks at ball 3 on the outside. Wind blowing directly in still. Full count now, no outs here in the top of the first for Paysinger at the plate. And she reaches for that one and no go, so goes down by way of a strikeout. Brings up the catcher for Tyler for this game, Rebecca Snow. Snow went 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored and a single versus Blinn earlier. That's strike 1 towards the outside. Rebecca Snow, a .483 average on the year. And that one's hit right back up the middle, a little bit of the changeup, sat back and waited on it. So Snow will be on by way of 1B8. So with 1 out, 1 on, that brings up center fielder for Tyler, Haley Weber.
And here's the center fielder, Haley Weber.
Weber went 1 for 1 with 2 RBI sac flies and an RBI double in the first game. Take that 1 for 2 because she also flew out to center. Looks at ball 1 on the outside there. One 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside. As looked like a sprinkler head went to pop up, so blew around off a second. Call time, push the sprinkler head back down. So reset for a 1-1 count, and that's fouled back for strike 2. One-two pitch and fouled back out of play. Weber fighting off the last 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first base.
As umpire over at first had to shut a gate, so called a little bit of time there. So 1-2 pitch, and that's going to get right back over to shortstop. It's bobbled, gets the runner at second. So Snow will be out by way of 6-4. Weber will be on by fielder's choice. So still 1 at first now, 2 outs. Brings up Mackenzie Goswick, TJC's first baseman. Went 2 for 4 with 2 singles, an RBI, strikeout, and fly out to short against Blinn. Ball high. San Jacinto, the #1 seed out of the South. TJC, the #1 seed out of the East. Second year in a row these teams have matched up in this championship game. And that's a swing and bunt right in front of the plate. Barely going to get the throw in time, but Gosswick is out by way of 2-3. So TJC brings 4 to the plate in the top half of the first. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Set up the lineup for San Jacinto. You have De Leon, Hernandez, Damian, Kochla, Bullen, Office, McHenry, Doherty, and Carey. Defensively for Tyler, Julian Knight will be in the circle. Snow will actually be behind the plate for this one. Around the infield, still the same. Moore and Chatham on the left side. Pete and Gosswick on the right. Around the outfield, Paysinger in left, Weber center, and Hotchkiss in right. Julian Knight on the year, 2.93 ERA, 12-6 record, 34 appearances, 17 complete games. No, 17 starts, 7 complete games, 3 shutouts, 1 save, 119 in the third innings of work. Giving up 66 runs, 50 of those earned, 22 walks, 71 strikeouts. So Julian Knight getting the start in this one. As a lot of work out of Kelly Mardones so far in this tournament. Mardones with 4 wins and a loss, so she pitched 5 games to get to this point. Mardones with the win versus Blinn advances to a 32-3 record on the year. As Julian Knight brings the count back to 1-1 here in the bottom half of the first, still scoreless. Blinn's De Leon at the plate. Gets her to chase a off-speed high for strike 2. 1-2 pitch, and that's going to go foul. Just left of the third base bag. San Jacinto comes in, record of 39-19. TJC a record of 50-16.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
So no one on, no outs here in the bottom half of the first. De Leon at the plate with a 2-2 count, and that one's going to sail way high and inside, hit off the padding and roll right back out. So full count now for De Leon at the plate, and that's popped up, going to pop just over Chatham's head at short. So De Leon with a leadoff single.
De Leon with a leadoff single.
Brings up Hernandez. Missy Hernandez with a 3.76 average, 178 at bats, 67 hits, 10 doubles, 1 triple, no home runs, 35 RBIs on the year. 1 on, no outs for Blinn. Squares around to bunt, and that's going to be out at first by way of Moore to Pete, covering the bag. But that moves De Leon over to second. Brings up the 3-hole Damian. Danny Damian, a 3.67 average, 180 at bats, 66 hits, 13 doubles, no triples, and 8 home runs, and 45 RBIs. So with a runner on second, 1 out, Damian looks at strike 1 down the middle. Oh, 1 pitch. And that's going to go line drive right off the glove. And that was a shot. So I'll go 1B5 because that was just a shot. Goes off the glove. Chatham can't quite get the throw over. So runners at first and second. Brings up Kochla. Short stop for Blinn. And that's over to third. Gets her at first, so gets the runner out at first. So more to Goswick.
More to McKenzie. And there's 2 away.
Out by way of 5-3, but De Leon advances to third, Damien to second. Brings up the 5-hole. Number 6, Riley Bullen, 3.54 average. Ball 1 on the inside. De Leon on first. Damien on second. 2 outs for Blinn in the bottom half of the first. Still scoreless. And that's fouled back off the net. One count. Fouls that one off the net for strike 2. One-two counts, 2 on. Runners at second and third for Blinn. And that's deep left field, and it's got a chance, and it's gone. So that's a 3-run shot. For Blinn, for Sanjak in the bottom half of the first.
Jumped all over that one, sent it over the wall. And San Jacinto on top, 3-0 here at the bottom of the first inning. Brings up the designated player.
So that clears the bases. Brings up the designated player Office. Taylor Office has a .275 batting average. Hitting in the 6-hole. 2 outs. Blinn leading TJC 3-0 in this Region 14 championship. As a reminder, fans, both teams have qualified for the national tournament. Sanjak out of the winner's bracket and Tyler out of the elimination bracket. One count, 2 outs for Office at the plate. Two-one pitch from Knight. And that's popped out of play on top of the TJC dugout on the third base line.
Count is even on Office, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on with 2 away.
PA makes for a great color guy. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Office at the plate. And that's fouled back. Hits the pole just to the right of us. And that's back up the middle. Pete's able to get it at second and going to throw her out for out number 3. So Office goes down by way of 4-3. But Sanjak with the 3-run shot in this bottom half of the first. So they get 3 runs off of 3 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. At the end of 1, TJC trails San Jacinto 3-0. Coming up in the top half of the second, 5, 6, 7. Court Moore, Pete. We'll be back in a minute. TJC trails 3-0, headed to the top of the second.
Shelby Court's going to lead off here at the top of the second, followed by Casey Moore and Mackenzie Pete.
Shelby Court, designated player for this one. And the fun trouble with schools that wear blue, especially the same uniform, I guess I've been saying blend, it's San Jacinto that we're playing. Blend was the first game of the day. Apologize for that one. As Court looks at ball 2, down and away.
Hey, I'm going to go sit next to Eddie. Is Eddie around? I see Fran and Dick and Morgan and Mason, but I don't see Eddie.
Strike 1.
Eddie?
And during this one, the fun game of Where's Eddie has been tossed out there. 2-1 count now for Shelby Court. TJC trails 3-0 here in the top half of the second. There's ball inside. Brings the count to full. That's fouled back out of play. Court went 1 for 4 against Blend in the first game of the day. Now faces a full count here in the top of the second. It's going to go off the glove, going to be a fair ball. No, they're saying. So one raised his hands up, foul. One said, the home plate umpire said fair. So now a meeting of the minds. She touched it, and then it went foul. She touched it in play. We'll see what they... end up discussing and out of the huddle. So I think they're going to call it as foul. So they're going to call it back, even though she touched it in fair territory, and it went off her glove and went foul, but went out into foul territory. So ball 4
Shelby Court goes down to first base.
comes across high, so she's on first regardless.
Number 17, Casey Moore.
That brings up third baseman Casey Moore. So no outs. Court's on first. Moore is at the plate here in the top half of the second. Looks at strike one. And that's bunt. She's going to pick it up in fair territory. Get thrown out at first, so she'll lay down the sack bunt to move Court over to second. So Court now sits on second, 1 out for Tyler. Mackenzie Pete to the plate.
Number 8,
Pete went 2 for 4 versus Blinn. Looks at ball 1 low from San Jack's Nikki Gonzalez. Ball 2. And that's going to be a fair. She picks that one open. She picks that up right at the line. So Pete will ground out 5-3. Court moves over to third. That brings up Chatham. 2 outs, 1 on third for Tyler. And Chatham hits that the right side out of play. Chatham in game 1 of the day went 0 for 4. A couple ground outs fly out in the fielder choice. Oh, 1 pitch. Gets her swinging at that one. Oh, 2 count now for Chatham. That's fouled back out of play. So that's a high fly ball. Able to get to that one is De Leon. So that's just going to be a high F3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base for TJC in the top half of the second. We'll go to the bottom half. TJC trailing San Jacinto 3-0 with 7, 8, 9 up for San Jack. McHenry, Doherty, and Carey will be up. TJC trailing 3-0 here in the going into the bottom half of the second. We'll be back in a moment.
Leading off for San Jack will be the right fielder Taylor McHenry, followed by Doherty and Curl.
Starting off the bottom half of the second, 7, 8, 9. McHenry, Taylor McHenry, 381 batting average for the year for Blinn. Ball 1. Julian Knight gets that one and going to get through the gap on the right side, so she'll be on by way of a 1B9.
Base hit from McHenry. Here's the center fielder, wearing the 22, Shelby Gardy.
And that's a bunt. Goswick is able to get to it and get it over to Mackenzie Pete that was covering the bag. So McHenry will get over.
The catcher, Caitlin Pearl.
So ball 1 on the inside. That's going to foul off down the left field line.
One ball, one strike, one away. Have a runner at second base.
One count, 1 out, 1 on second for Sanjak. This bottom half of the second, leading Tyler 3-0. As that's popped, that's going to be a looper into center. The runner's going to hold up at third. Kelly Sines was all the way running. She was almost at home plate trying to tell her player to come on. So McHenry will stop on third. Carey will make it to first on a 1B8. Brings up the top of the lineup. De Leon, she got on by way of a single to left. And they're just going to let her take second. So Carey will move over to second, get a stolen base out of the deal. So looking strike for De Leon. Now faces an 0-1 count. Blinn with 2 runners on. And that's popped out to left. Paysinger able to get it in. That holds Carey at second, but McHenry will score, making the lead 4-0. De Leon will get a 1B7.
And here is the second baseman, number 15, Missy Hernandez.
Brings up to the plate. Hernandez had a sac bunt first time up. Looks at ball 1 high. Two-0 pitch, sails that one up and away. As that one's down the middle for strike one.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Runners at first and second base.
Three-one pitch. Ball 4 high. So Carey will advance to third. De Leon to second. Hernandez will get on by way of a walk. Brings up third base Damian. Single and a run scored back in the first. We're here in the bottom half of the second. Sanjak leading Tyler 4-1 in this championship game. Sanjak made it all the way through the winner's bracket, just playing 3 games to get to this point. Tyler, after losing the first round, had to play an additional 4, so they're at 5 games played in this tournament. Both teams already qualified now for the national tournament. That one's lifted into left field, going to tag at third, but hold up. Great throw by Paysinger. So Damian out by way of F7.
Third base. So we have 2 away. And here's Mackenzie Catrola.
Two outs, bases loaded. Catrola at the plate. Strike 2. One-two count, 2 outs. Here in the bottom half of the second. Ball hit back behind us.
Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away.
2-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Catrola at the plate, grounded to third last time up. And that's fouled back on the net. And that's ball 3. So with 2 outs, bases are loaded. All the runners will be moving on this pitch. And that's going to be ball 4 low and in. So Carey will score. De Leon will move to third. Hernandez to second. Catrola will be moving over to first with a walk. Score now 5-0. Ball 1. Ball 2 on the outside. And that's ball 3 on the inside. Three-0 count now for Bullen at the plate. And going to be Ball 4 on the inside, so another one walks in.
Bullen goes down to first base.
Hernandez goes to third. Controlla goes to second, and Bullen walks.
Taylor Office.
Sanjak now leading 6-0 over Tyler here in the bottom half of the second. And strike one comes across. Strike two. As that one's popped down the right field line, can't quite get to it.
Back out of play, count remains 0-2 with 2 away.
Was Goswick.
And the base is loaded.
So 0-2, 2 outs. Bases are loaded here for Sanjak in the bottom. And it'll be ball 1 on the outside. One-two pitch now from Knight. And that's popped up to right field. Looper into right's going to score 2. Hernandez scores. Controlla scores. And Bullen ends on third. So Office will get a 1B9 with 2 RBIs. And TJC going different in the circle because qualified for the national tournament out of the elimination bracket. So both teams are qualified for nationals and trying to get some work out of Knight and potentially a few other pitchers coming up. This will go all 7, no run rules in championship games. As that brings back up to the plate McHenry, who started off this inning. And that's over to left, chasing his pace singer, and that's going to get TJC out of the bottom half of the second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. No errors and 2 left on for San Jacinto in the bottom half of the third. And TJC comes to bat trailing 8-0 to the top half of the third. Up for Tyler, 9-1-2, Hotchkiss, Paysinger, and Snow. We'll be back in a minute.
Leading off will be number 13. This is Shelby Hotchkiss. Then we go back to the top of the order for the Lady of Panthers with Paysinger and Snow.
Up to the plate for Tyler in the top half of this third is Shelby Hotchkiss. First time up today as that one bounces in for ball. Strike one, so 1-1 count for Hotchkiss. There's that one. One-two count for Hotchkiss. Upstairs for ball two. Brings the count to full. That's popped up high into center, able to easily trot underneath it is Doherty. So that's an F8. Brianna Pasinger now to the plate. Struck out first time up in the first inning. Ball one on the outside. And that's popped to the gap in right center, but another high fly ball hauled in by Doherty. So back-to-back F8s in the scorebook brings up Rebecca Snow. She's had the only hit for Tyler so far. Hit a single up the middle. And that's right back up the middle again. So she's now 2 for 2 with another 1B8. So she'll get on first. Haley Weber comes up. 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice back in the first inning.
Here's the center fielder, number 21, Haley Weber.
Two outs, one on for Tyler. Haley Weber at the plate. And notice the off speed, but couldn't match. So 0-1 count now. Two outs. Tyler trails 8-0 here in the top half of the third. Ball one on the outside, so 1-1 count at the plate, two outs. Looks at that one, ball high.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away.
And that's roped over, can't glove it. And she's going to be safe at as a all over the place with the ball. Snow will get over to second. Weber will get a 1B4 out of the deal, but error by the second baseman will get her over to second. Snow will move to third. So with 2 outs, Snow sits on third, Weber behind her at second, Goswick at the plate. Had a swinging bunt that the catcher threw out at first, back in the first inning. So with 2 on, Goswick at the plate, 2 outs. And that's just a little lazy fly ball out to left field, so that'll be an F7 to end the inning. So TJC, no runs off 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. So after 2.5 innings of play, TJC trails 8-0 versus San Jac. Once again, fans, this game is just a game for, granted it is a trophy, but both teams qualify for the NJCA National Tournament up in St. George next week. San Jac by way of winning all 3 of their winners bracket games to get here. TJC dropped the first game and then won 4 more to get here. Rode the battery of Mardones to Court throughout the first 5 games that TJC's played in this tournament. And for this one, out on the mound is Julia Knight. Catching behind the plate is Rebecca Snow. Court and Snow just flip-flop positions in the lineup, where Snow is catching and Court just being the designated player, so she still gets some at-bats. So to start off the bottom part of the third for San Jacinto, 8-9-1, Doherty, Carey, and De Leon. Doherty, first time up, bunted or had a sacrifice bunt that moved up McHenry back in the second. So first chance to see her swing away at this one. Be strike 1. Ball outside. And that's going to be a bunt, and she's going to be safe at first. So she'll bunt for a single. That'll be a 1B1. Brings up the 9-hole. That's Curl, not Carey. Apologize about that. Curl, a 3.36 average. She had a single back in the second.
Go get it, one. Go get it.
0-1 count. Didn't pull the bunt back far enough, so got strike on that one. One on, no outs for San Jac here in the bottom half of the third. 0-2 count at the plate. Ball 4 up and away for Curl. And that's straight to Paysinger. Barely had to move her feet, so Curl with a line drive out to left.
We're back to the top of the order. Number 7,
or line out to left. So 1 on, 1 out. Brings the top of the order De Leon back up. She's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. And going to pop that one just off the hands. So that'll be a F5. So 2 down now. Hernandez up to the plate.
And here's
haven't had an official at bat. She had a sacrifice bunt back in the first and a walk and a run scored in the second. Ball one low. One-0 pitch. And that's popped up. Paysinger's going to be able to come over and get that one. So F7 in the scorebook gets out of the bottom half of the third. San Jac will get no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on. So after 3 complete, TJC 0, San Jacinto 8 in this Region 14 tournament championship game. For TJC coming up to bat in the top half of the fourth, 5, 6, 7. Court, Moore, and Pete. We'll be back in a moment. TJC trailing 8-0, headed to the top of the fourth.
Leading off for the Lady of Matthews will be Shelby Court. The DP followed by Casey Moore and Mackenzie Pete.
Top half of the fourth, TJC trails 8-0. Leading off for Tyler is Shelby Court in the 5-hole. Designated player for this one. Getting her some rest out of that catcher's gear. After a solo game Saturday. Solo game Sunday, then 2 yesterday, and then 1 today. Looks at strike 2. So 0-2 count to Court. Walked her first time up in the second. Looks at ball 1 away. And didn't wait on that off speed. Swung too fast and
Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
got it off the handle in the chest. So 1-2 count, no outs for Court here in the top half of the fourth. And got her again with the changeup on the inside. Strikeout swinging.
Number 17.
Brings up Casey Moore. Back in the second inning, she had a sacrifice bunt. Looks at strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch now to Moore. 1 out for Tyler in this top half, and dribbles that one foul over towards third. Tyler here in the top half of the fourth, trailing 8-0 in this tournament championship game. And swings at strike 3 on that one. So back-to-back strikeouts for San Jac's Nikki Gonzalez. Can definitely tell the difference in 5 games played with some double headers in there for Tyler versus the fresh 3 games, 1 a day for Sanjak. Also choosing to rest Mardones after 5 straight games of work. As Pete looks at strike 2 across. Oh, 2. Ball high. Both of these teams will be headed to St. George. Tournament will be next weekend. For all you Apache fans, we'll be able to cover up through a certain point of the tournament, which then it'll be covered under NJCA TV, as that one is line fouled on the left field line. But I think that's not until the semifinal round of the national tournament. But we'll be making the trip up there, so those that can't make it out to St. George will be able to bring our games to you. As that one hangs out there, but got a little bit too far ahead of it and hits it foul again. So 2-2 count with 2 outs for Mackenzie Pete at the plate. Tyler trailing 8-0 here in the top half of the 4th. And that's just a high fly ball. It's in foul territory. But on the run is Bullen, able to get the grab. So 3 up, 3 down for Tyler in the top half of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. So we'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. 3, 4, 5 up for Sanjak. Damian, Kotrula, and Bullen. The TJC trails here after 3.5, 8-0. Next up, Sanjak to the plate. We'll be back in a minute.
Leading off bottom of the 4th inning for Sanjak will be number 10, Danny Damian. She's third base. She'll be followed by the shortstop, Petrola, and the left fielder, Bullen.
Up for Sanjak to lead off the bottom of the 4th is the third baseman, Damian. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored today. And it looks at ball 1 on the inside. That one's popped up. It'll be in play. Goswick trails over to get that one, so that'll be out by way of F3. That one's in the dirt. Catrola up. She is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored so far today. And that one fouled down the left field line. Ball too low. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little coughing fit there. 2-2 count for Catrola. And that another one ripped foul. So 2-2 count once again, one out for Sanjak at the plate, and that one's dribbled off the end of the bat, and she's going to be able to outrun it. So Catrola gets on by way of 1B4.
Here's the left fielder, Bullen.
So with one out and one on, Bullen comes to the plate, lays down a bunt, foul. So 0-1 count now for Bullen, one out. Catrola is on first. Sanjak leading TJC 8-0 in this tournament championship game. Sanjak fresh out of the winner's bracket side, only playing 3 games. TJC with 5. And with this conference, it's a tough fight just to get back up to this point. The ball one outside. Julia Knight getting some work for Tyler in the circle during this one. Rebecca Snow behind the plate. Fouls that one off. So 1-2 count, one out for Bullen. And that's popped up. Able to snag it is Pete. So Bullen will get out by way of F4. So 2 down, Catrola on first for Sanjak. Brings up Office, the designated player. Has a 2 RBI single and a ground out to second. So 0-1. 1-1 count now to Office. 2 outs, 1 on first for Sanjak. As 2-1 count now with a ball inside. Pitch from Knight. Ball 3 up and away. Three 3-1 pitch. And strike 2 on the inside. Full count. Ball low. So Controller will advance to second. Office will walk to first. Brings to the plate McHenry, the right fielder.
Step it up. Let's go.
Watch that first pitch, Tyler. Strike coming in. Where do you go?
And a pinch runner for Office. Looks like number 18, Catlin Rivera. Two outs, two on. Dribbler can't quite make the throw. Was Chatham. So everybody moves up a base, and Rivera will get over to second, Controlla to third, and McHenry will be on by 1B6. So brings up the center fielder Doherty in the 8 hole. She had a sacrifice bunt and a single so far today. Bases are loaded, 2 outs for Sanjak here in the bottom half of the 4th, and that's right to Goswick. So line out L3 in the scorebook. So that'll end the 4th. TJC or Sanjak, no runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. So after 4 complete, TJC trails San Jacinto in this tournament championship game 8-0. Up to bat in the top half of the 5th for TJC is 8-9-1. Chatham, Hotchkiss, and Paysinger. We'll be back in a moment. Top of the 5th, starting off 8-9-1. Chatham looks at ball 1.
Mackenzie Chatham at the plate for the Lady Apaches.
Ball 2 on the inside to Chatham. Chatham had a pop up over to first, back in the 2nd. And that's going to go out of the glove, and that's a beautiful hit.
Controlla almost had it. Runner safe at first base.
So that'll be a 1B6. That was a hard hit.
Fielder, Shelby Hotchkiss.
Brings up Hotchkiss. Flew out to center first time up in the 3rd inning. TJC trailing 8-0 to Sanjak here in the top half of the 5th. She looks at strike 1. And that's going to short hop, go off the shins. And it's going to be a play at 3rd. She's going to get underneath the tag. that was a hot hit. Chatham advances to third. Hotchkiss will be on first. Brings up top of the lineup Brianna Pasinger. Pasinger 0 for 2 in this game after going 4 for 4 versus Blinn. As a timeout for Sanjak. Here in the top of the fifth, TJC trailing in this tournament championship game 8-0. Runners on first and third. Chatham on third. Hotchkiss on first. Pasinger at the plate. Both teams will enjoy the confines of St. George, Utah next week. With Sanjak advancing to this point through the champion or the winners bracket, and Tyler facing or advancing to this point from the elimination bracket. Now this is just to determine the tournament championship. 1-2 count now for Pasinger at the plate. No outs for Tyler. Runners on the corners. That's ball 2 outside. Two count, no outs for Pasinger. And that's going to fly out down the left field line, but get out of play into the bullpen of Tyler. Reset a 2-2 count. That one's popped back out of play. Going to be ball 3, and with that one, Hotchkiss will advance over to second. So now runners at second and third. Full count now for Pasinger at the plate with no outs. And that's going to get through, going to score 1. Pasinger's trying to get in, going to be called safe at second. So Chatham will score. Hotchkiss will get to third. Pasinger an RBI 1B9 and able to advance to second. So TJC on the board. Still trails 8-1 here in the top half of the fifth. 2 on second and third with no outs. Brings up Rebecca Snow. 2 for 2 with 2 singles up the middle. And that's deep left, able to get to it at the fence for the out. It's going to tag up, and Pasinger sneaks underneath the throw back in. So Snow will get a sacrifice RBI F7. Pace Singer's on third. Hotchkiss scores. Cuts Sanjak's lead 8-2. Brings up Haley Weber. 1 for 2, fielder's choice, and a single during this one. So with 1 out, Haley Weber now faces a 1-1 count. And that's fouled back out of play to the left of us. One-two pitch, tip back, dead ball. TJC has 2 runs across so far in the top half of the 5th. Ball low and away for ball 2. So 2-2 checks on that one. No go for ball 3. So Weber fights back to a full count. 1 out, 1 on. And that's going to be ball 4 low and away.
Ball 4 to Weber. She's at first base. One away,
So
runners at first and third.
Runners at the corners brings up Mackenzie Goswick. There's 1 out. TJC trying to fight back here in the top of the 5th. Ball 1 outside. Goss will go for 2 with a little swing and bunt that the catcher picked up and a fly out to left. 1-0 pitch, away and in the dirt. TJC has 1 out. Pace Singer's at third, first. Gossip at the plate, 2-0 count. And that's gonna get down for a hit. Pace Singer's gonna make a play at the plate, slide underneath, and gonna be called out. And thought she was underneath it, but called out at the plate on a bang-bang play. So Goswick will get a 1B7. Weber will advance to second. And Paysinger will be out by way of 7-2. So 2 outs. And coming in to hit for Shelby Court
Number 18, Amber Lair.
will be number 18, Amber Lair. Amber Lair, first at bat of the tournament. So 2 outs, runners on first and second for Tyler. TJC able to put up a couple runs here in the top half of the 5th so far, trailing 8-2 to San Jacinto. Looks at strike 1 across the zone. Strike 2.
One more, bad. Good up.
Oh, 2, 2 outs, 2 on, and fouls that one back. So reset another 0-2 count. Weber sits on second, Goswick on first. Lair at the plate. Ball 1 high.
1-2 on Layer, 2 out. And runners at first and second.
And that's ripped deep foul left behind the TJC bench. One, 2 count, 2 outs, 2 on for Tyler in the top half of the 5th. And that's a high fly foul ball back into the trees to our left.
Got a six. Come on, Nicky.
One, 2, 2 outs, 2 on for Tyler here, top half of the 5th, trailing Sanjak 8-2. And looks at strike 3 across the zone. So TJC able to chip away a little bit in the top half of the 5th on 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error by Sanjak, and 2 left on base. So after 4.5, TJC trails 8-2 to Sanjak. Up for Sanjak in the bottom half of the 5th, 9-1-2. Curl, De Leon, and Hernandez. We'll be back in a moment. Pitching change for Tyler. Layer's going to stay in and go to the mound, or go into the circle. So Knight will get 4 innings of work. Layer now getting some work out in the circle.
Tyler making a change out into
Layer, 4.30 ERA, 6-6 record, 26 appearances on the year, 12 starts, 2 complete games, and 1 save, 73 1/3 innings of work. Allowed 65 runs, 45 of those earned, 55 walks, and 45 strikeouts. At this point, trying to get some work before going to St. George. Curl up in the 9-hole to lead off the bottom part of the 5th for Sanjak. As that's ball 1 on the outside. TJC trails 8-2 in this tournament championship game. TJC getting here the hard way, dropping game 1 of the tournament and then fighting back for 4 straight others. Second game of the day for Tyler. After defeating Blinn a little earlier, 6-1. Now trails Sanjak 8-2, bottom half of the 5th. Even count at 2-2, no outs for Curl at the plate. A little off speed, a little too low. So full count for Curl at the plate. And gets her to
Away we go back to the
top of the order, De Leon. 2 for 3 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored today. Ball up and away. One 1-0 pitch. Up for ball 2. And that's going to get down for a little looper hit. So De Leon, a little 1B8. Gets to first, brings up Hernandez. Hernandez had a sac bunt in the first, a walk and a run scored in the second, and flew out to left in the third. No, or 1 out and 1 on. As strike 1 comes across. In the bottom half of the 5th. That ball on the inside for ball 1. One count, 1 out, 1 on for Sanjak. Strike across the zone towards the outside of the plate. And that's foul down the left field line. And gets her swinging on that one. So another strikeout for Lair. Brings up third baseman Damian. 1 for 3 with a single run scored in the first, fly out to left, and a fly out to first. Ball 1. For Damian, and that's popped over towards the on-deck circle. Two outs, 1 on for Sanjak. Bottom of the 5th, leading TJC 8-2 in this tournament championship. And that's rope, can't get it as Chatham. So 1B7 for Damian. De Leon moves over to second. Damian on first. Brings up Catrola. Ground out to third Walk and run scored, and a single so far today for Catrola, as that one's deep foul out of play down the left field line. Gets her swinging on that one. Ball one on the outside. One-two pitch. Grounder over to third, makes a throw to first. Good connection from Moore to Goswick, so Catrola goes down by way of 5-3. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base for San Jac in the bottom half of the 5th. So we go to 6, TJC trailing 8-2. Up for TJC in the top half, 6, 7, 8. More Pete Chatham. We'll be back in a moment.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning will be number 17, third baseman Casey Moore, followed by Pete and Chatham.
To lead off the top half of the 6th for Tyler is Casey Moore. Has had a sac bunt and a strikeout in this one so far today. Looks at ball one, low and away. One-0 pitch, sails high, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Inside for ball 3.
That's ball 3.
Three-0 pitch. Strike 1. Strike 2.
Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
No outs for Tyler in the top half of the 6th, and Moore fouls that one back. Out of play to stay alive.
Ball strike 3.
So strike 3, thought it was a ball, but no go. Brings up Mackenzie Pete. Ground out to third and flew out to left so far today, or this one. And that one's into right. Coming over to get it is McHenry as the wind's starting to gust up a lot of that dirt out there. Pete goes down by way of F9, brings up Chatham. 1 for 2 with a fly out to first and a single to short, and a run scored. Fouls that one back, so 0-2 count now with 2 outs with Chatham at the plate. And that's fouled down the third base line. Oh, 2 with 2 outs. No one on here for Tyler in the top half of the 6th. Looks at ball 3, a little off-speed high. So 1-2 pitch coming up. And that's popped up. And that's going to be out number 3 as Chatham goes down by way of F3. So 1, 2, 3 for Tyler in the top half of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. So coming up to the bottom of the 6th for Sanjak. 5, 6, 7, Bullen, Office, and McHenry. Or Rivera may be in for Office, but we'll see. But 5, 6, 7 coming up for Sanjak. Sanjak leads Tyler 8-2 here going to the bottom half of the 6th. We'll be back in a minute.
Leading off for the Lady Coyotes will be number 6, Riley Bullock, followed by the DPTO and Taylor McHenry.
Leading off for Sanjak in the bottom half of the 6th is Bullen. Bullen 1 for 2 with a walk. But her one was a 3-run shot back in the first. Oh, 1 count now for Bullen. That's right back up the middle. Chatham scoops it, throws it, out.
Round around to Chatham, over to Goswood.
So that'll be a 6-3 in the scorebook. Brings up Rivera, who came in for Office back in the 4th. One out. Rivera at the plate. No one on.
Rivera in the batter's box for San Jacinto.
Sanjak leading 8-2 here in the bottom half of the 6th. This Region 14 tournament championship game, as that one's fouled back. Oh, 2 count. Ball outside. Tried to get her to chase, but no go. 1-2 pitch from Lair. Popped up, and Goswick over her head, able to snag that one.
Goswick at first base, drifted back and catching that one.
So F3
2 away.
for Rivera. So 2 down brings up McHenry, the right fielder. 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored today.
Right fielder, Taylor McHenry.
One 0 pitch, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th. Swings at that one. One pitch. Ball too high. That's back up the middle. Going to be a 1 bouncer out to Weber. So McHenry will get on by way of 1B8.
McHenry goes to first base on a single.
Brings up Doherty.
Fielder, number 42.
Doherty with a sac bunt, a single, a swinging single to the pitcher, and a line out to first. And strike 1 comes across for Amber Lair. So McHenry on first, Doherty at the plate, gets that one and just over the glove of Chatham. So McHenry will get to second. Doherty on first by way of 1B7. Brings up the 9-hole Carroll.
And this is the catcher,
Curl.
Caitlin Curl.
Sorry about that, Curl. 1 for 3 with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored today. Two outs, 2 on for Sanjak. Ball 1 across for Curl. One 0 pitch. Swings at that one. Two on, 2 out, 1-1 is the count. Gets her swinging at that one, strike 2. One-two pitch. And gets her looking for strike 3. So TJC down to its final 3 outs in the top half of the 7th. Brings up 9-1-2. Hotchkiss, Pacing, or Snow. TJC needs 6 to keep playing. But TJC trails 8-2, headed to the top half of the 7th. We'll be back in a moment. That banging was a little toy truck falling down the steps just to the right of us. Nobody in it, though. Baseball went rolling. That was in the truck bed, but good to go. So first substitution here. Tucker Caraway will bat for Shelby Hotchkiss. Caraway a 250 ERA. Average, batting average. 161 at bats. 51 hits, 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 3 home runs. 38 RBIs on the year. Oh, check that. Was reading the wrong line. Only 28 at bats, 7 hits, 1 double, and 5 RBIs. 1-1 count. For Caraway. And that's going to travel out to center. Wind blowing it in. That'll be a F8. First one down. Fans make sure.
Number 9, Nadia Jimenez.
If this is TJC's last inning here in Lufkin, there is an award ceremony afterwards that we'll stay on for. But TJC trails 8-2. At the plate now for Brianna Paysinger is Nadia Jimenez. Getting her first at-bat of the tournament. Couple pinch run opportunities. But Jimenez looks at that one. One out as strike 2 comes across. 2-2 count for Jimenez at the plate. And that's popped up. Rolling over, though, is Trolla for out number 2. F6.
One more, girls.
Brings up Rebecca Snow.
Catcher number 15.
Snow with 2 singles and an RBI sacrifice fly on this one versus San Jac. Once again, fans, both of these teams qualify for the national tournament. San Jac out of the winner's bracket and Tyler battling back through the elimination bracket. As strike 1 on the outside called. So both teams will go represent Region 14 up in St. George next week. We'll be bringing you all those, and that's up over the head of Catrola. So that'll be a 1B7. We'll bring up Haley Weber. Weber, fielder's choice, a 1B4, and a walk so far today. But we'll be bringing you the first part of TJC's Nationals up at St. George. There's strike 1 look on the outside. Up until NJCAA TV takes over, so TJC rolls through. I'll be bringing that. But out number 3 is a 3U. So that'll end it. TJC loses this one, or drops the championship game of the tournament, 8-2 to San Jac. Once again, both these teams are headed to St. George. We're going to keep it here as there's going to be a trophy presentation. They might do all tournament team announced, but trophy presentation right after this little part. And we'll turn up the PA mic for that one. But TJC, TJC drops to 50-17 on the year. San Jac improves to 40-19.
Jacinto. We'll get you over on the first base sideline.
But we'll go ahead and turn it over to the PA for the awards presentation.
And we want to say congratulations to the Tyler Lady Apaches, the runners-up, and the Region 14 2017 softball tournament. Congratulations, Lady Apaches. And to the champions for this year, it's the San Jacinto Lady Coyotes. Congratulations, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic week. Thank you for turning out, supporting your teams. Hope to see you again.
Once again, TJC drops the tournament championship game 8-2, but both teams were going up to St. George, Utah. Make sure to check out ApacheAthletics.com for all that tournament schedule and the links for all that one. So we'll be bringing you all that information, or getting all that information posted into this week, beginning of next, as tournament play will be towards the middle to end next week. So TJC, after dropping the first game to Galveston back on Saturday, fights all the way back, plays a total of 6 games in this tournament, 4-2 in the tournament, but qualifies for the national championships up in St. George, Utah. So we'll be back on air in about a week. Stay tuned for all that schedule and all those links on ApacheAthletics.com. I want to appreciate everybody for watching in and dealing with everything with the connectivity issues first thing this morning and sticking with us throughout the entire tournament. But for everyone here at TJC, for all those ladies that fought hard to get to this point and getting to extend their season, one of 16 teams still getting to play next week. So for everybody there at TJC, I want to thank you. This is Chuck Smith signing off until next week from St. George, Utah. Thanks, and go Apaches.